My next guest offers a behind the scenes look at company life after nearly a decade with Eisenhower Dance Detroit. Tune in as he shares real life insights, choreography tips, and advice for the next generation. Ciao, I'm Anna Harsh, professional dancer, author, and host of the Dance Floor podcast, the podcast that offers you advice, tips, and unique ways to find those life lessons that improve our lives. So grab your dance shoes and join me on the dance floor. Welcome, everyone. I'm Anna Harsh, your host, and I'm here with a very special guest, Alex Hlavaty. Welcome to the dance floor.
Hi, thank you so much, Anna. Yeah, my name is Alex. I am a professional contemporary dancer. I'm based in Detroit, and I dance with a company called Eisenhower Dance Detroit. And I've been doing this for quite a long time. This is my 10th season with the company, which is awesome. I'm about to join my 11th season. So I never knew I was going to be here this long, but here I am, and I'm loving it.
Alex, your resume speaks volumes. I mean, you have a degree in dance and you do a little bit of creative writing from Western Michigan University, I see.
That's
So,
true, yes.
we as dancers wear many hats, don't we? Can you tell us a little bit about company life? What are you doing right now? What is company life for you? What's your rehearsal schedule and performance schedule like?
So we are a pretty involved company. We dance for 32 weeks a year in our contract, and that includes dancing from 9:30 in the morning to either 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon for rehearsals. And then a lot of dancers in the company will also choose to teach afterward because we all love teaching, we all love movement, and part of our goal is to share what we know from our professional careers with everyone else. So I also teach as well. And then our company hires choreographers from all over the United States, sometimes from outside the country, and we bring them to Detroit. And they create new works on us, and we take those on tour. We perform those everywhere you can think of. And then we have 3 home shows a year in one of our theaters in Detroit. So that's kind of the goal of what our company does. Not all contemporary companies are repertory companies like us, but we really strive to always bring in newer contemporary choreographers and push our limits artistically and show everybody what that's about.
I love that. Alex, we were chatting before, and I also do a little contemporary work in my own company. So we tell stories of Italy's past and present through contemporary movement. Can you describe for my listeners a little bit about what contemporary movement or dance style is like?
Sure, absolutely. So, contemporary dance, in my own words, would be referring to the newest kind of movement or the most revolutionary at this time. So, it started off with classic modern dance that went into that postmodern era. And then we added some more technique to it, some more ballet, and we keep evolving it. And nowadays, there's still the technique. We've included like hip hop and folk dance, kind of how you were speaking,
Yeah.
to the movement language, and it keeps evolving, which is really cool. And I've even seen since I've become a professional dancer, the movement language over these 10 years has completely changed from when I started. So I think that's what I love about what I do in a contemporary company is there's always something new to adapt to.
I
And
love that. And
yeah, and I love that your company uses traditional and folk dance and includes the contemporary in it to tell those stories.
yeah, and it's really challenging if you studied a little bit of folk dances from other cultures and countries. You know that we don't have a vocabulary because they're too old. These authentic dances came before any kind of ballet or jazz vocabulary that we have today. There's no plie or tendu moment in our folk dance world.
Right.
So sometimes we have to create words to create a vocabulary of what do we call this step? Do you find that in your pieces that maybe a new choreographer coming in, they might use weird words to describe a move or maybe even an emotion to describe it?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's funny because right before we had this conversation, I was in rehearsal this morning and we called something the peekaboo. Of course, it's not very
It's
proper, but
something to
we do
remember.
use certain words. I've noticed that my company, we like to use a lot of sounds. So like swoosh and the slash and all these other things that basically refer to different dynamics of the movement. So yeah, there's no language to describe everything, but a lot of it can be related back to ballet.
I agree. Yeah, sometimes I'll base it off of a ballet terminology and I'll say, well, it's sort of like a soutenu, but the arms are different, or the leg doesn't quite cross over, or, you have to base it
Right.
off of something. So I love the swoosh. Yeah, we have a lot of those as well, like ziggity zag or, whatever. But I think that's how we keep innovating with dance, isn't it? How we keep pushing the dance envelope forward and keep creating and collaborating with other styles to make it exciting. Alex, what
Right.
do you think makes it contemporary dance choreography? What do you think makes it so exciting to watch? Is it the elements of level change or tempo change? Like, what's your favorite maybe to manipulate with choreography?
That is a great multi-level question to me. For me personally, what makes contemporary dance so exciting to watch would really be the authenticity of it to the person performing it.
Mhm.
So I really enjoy different levels, and then there's these dynamic shifts, and then there's these lifting and these swooshing movements that we were talking about. And that's all beautiful. And I've also seen dances that are very minimal that I've really enjoyed as well. But for me, it comes from if a choreographer can create something for an individual and then that person makes it their own and they really feel real within themselves. That's when
Yeah,
I feel drawn to a performance. And it's not so much what you're doing, it's how you do it for yourself, which that's what
correct.
makes it exciting for me personally.
Yeah, you want to make it authentic to who you are. You're taking their movement, their story, their authenticity, and placing it on your experience through your lens and your eyes. I
I
think you're
like that
right.
word, your experience. I
That's
like that.
right. It is your
It's
experience,
true.
right? You're embodying what they're saying on your body, and it has to come through your own contemporary view. Wow, Alex, I love that. And I talk about that a lot in my second book of what makes up choreography so exciting to watch. And we talk about those elements. And I love manipulating, maybe just one. Maybe it's just a tempo change or a focus change
Mm.
or creating those different patterns on the floor. Where are we
Hmm.
going, with our choreography? Where does it lead you? So,
Right.
gosh, Alex, your career has led you to this moment so far. What do you think you would want to do? Because I see that you have writing in your repertoire. Would you ever write about dance?
So this is actually a very perfectly timed question in my career right now, because I am starting graduate school for an MFA in dance, in just 2 months from now.
Wow,
So
congrats.
I will continue dancing with Eisenhower, but the reason I chose to do this is because I've always used language and I've used poetry specifically in my artistry. So I wanted to figure out how I could use that more. So my goal in graduate school is to kind of dissect the writing style, the poetry style, and how language is used in words and how can I construct dance out of it with the same kind of how the words are formed together to make a feeling, and how can I use that to inspire me to make the movements find a feeling maybe in a different way that I haven't explored before. So for
Yeah.
me, language can be words, it can be movement, it can be expression in different ways. So yeah, I'm actually deciding to take that exact idea to the next level and use that in my research to teach more people about that.
Alex, I'm so excited for you. That's so inspiring. I
Oh,
do a
thank you.
I do a writing workshop called Pages to Stages where you can take any amount of maybe your own story, any amount of words, and then bring that to life. Maybe it's lyrics to a song, maybe it's movement for dance, maybe it's a painting that you're inspired by this poem or your own words that you've written down on a page. But you're right. We as artists, we're all encompassing artistry, aren't we? We wear many hats as dancers. We write, we create, we choreograph, sometimes we costume design and light. So
Right. Yeah. Each one feeds the other's creativity.
it does. And I think that's what's so exciting about the arts is because it keeps us fed, keeps our cup running over with joy and spirit and energy. And we all can use that today. Alex,
Right.
before we go, can you give a little words of wisdom for the next generation? Like, what should we
Mhm.
think about for them? What helped you propel you to this level in your career? What is that one thing that you're like, ah, if somebody would have told me that?
Right. This is a great question. I would say the world is so diverse in dance, and there's so many different paths, and it can feel super overwhelming. But I would say allow yourself to be as open to any situation as you possibly can. I noticed that I had a very like, this is what I want to do in my career. And fortunately for me, it kind of worked out in that way. But to a smaller degree, I felt like I had a lot of opportunities doing things I would have never expected to do if I just said, well, that's really not part of like my vision. So I would say try to stay open to any opportunity that comes your way, even if you're not sure, oh, is this exactly part of what I see myself doing long term? I would say try it, see if you enjoy it. Every experience is just going to feed your creativity, your artistry even more. And some of my performances or jobs that I did through dance that I didn't think was really something that I would ever do ended up being my most cherished moments.
Wow.
So I would say be open, be present, and challenge yourself to maybe do something that you didn't really think would ever be part of your journey. You never know where that's going to
Absolutely.
lead.
I agree 100%. I've taken all kinds of movement jobs and other artistic jobs that
Yeah,
really led me to something else, or introduced me to someone that I really needed in my life as a teacher, you know?
absolutely.
So I agree. Take those opportunities, take those chances because they might not be there tomorrow. You're right,
That's
Alex.
true.
Dancers, are you listening to this? Because this is life, real life. And Alex is giving us great advice. Alex, tell us about your upcoming showcase, I think in May.
Yes, so our company is having a season closer. This is the end of season 34, and it is a show called Depth Within, and we are performing in Detroit. And we have a pay what you can initiative. So you can pay $1, get a ticket to the show, or if you would like to pay more than a standard ticket price, you can do that as well, just to be as open to the community as possible to share art with everyone we can. And we're going to have choreographers from all over the United States have works in that show, as well as our artistic director, Stephanie Pizzo, has a work in there as well. So I'm very excited to perform for Detroit once more.
That sounds incredible. How many dancers are in the company right now performing for this concert?
There are 10. We're actually a very small company. So we have 7 full company dancers, 2 apprentices, and 1 trainee.
Yeah, we have 10 to 12 in our company usually from season to season. So I feel that. And those small companies, we are powerful and we are
Yes.
very accessible to the community. So take advantage of that. And where can
Yes.
we follow the company? What's the website?
So our website is eisenhowerdance.org. If you're interested in seeing the whole website, we also have social media on Facebook, Instagram. If you follow at Eisenhower Dance Detroit, you'll find us there.
Awesome. Alex, thank you so much for spending a little time with us on the dance floor today and giving your advice and your experience as a company member. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. And I just want to mention if you are ever somebody who is interested in learning more about a company, do not be afraid to reach out to a dancer in that company. We will see your Instagram message, your Facebook message, your email, and we will always respond because we're always here to help.
I love that. And I'm glad that you guys responded to me. I've learned so much about the company and I have family up in that area. So I might find myself in Detroit sometime. And I'd
Awesome.
love
You
to
should
connect
stop
with you
by.
guys again. Absolutely. Alex, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for listening today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm your host, Anna Harsh. And until next time, keep moving on the dance floor.